What's the purpose of a weapon system and having equippable, selectable and dropped weapons in a game from a game design perspective? For me, there are three main points for having a weapon system in your game. The first one is basically gameplay variety. For me, the weapons have to have different gameplays that they encourage. For example, a slow, heavy-hitting hammer would encourage a more calculated and more timing-based playstyle, while a faster sword or an axe might encourage you to play closer up and take more dangerous positioning. The second point is to give the player more interesting decisions to make when they are playing the game. If the only decision for picking a weapon is that which one do I like more today, then in the long run it gets really boring. But if the rest of the player's build depends on which weapons they take, then it's suddenly a lot more interesting. For example, in Nuclear Throne, say I'm choosing between the shovel and the minigun, for example. Well, if I take the shovel, then I really want the long arms mutation for the longer melee range, and then I also kind of want the trigger fingers to reset the cooldown on kills, so I don't leave myself open to enemy attacks. And maybe I even want the angry face, so that I can one-shot enemies in the crystal caves and the ice biome. And if I take the minigun, well, then the melee range and the cooldown resets are useless, so the upgrades I pick totally depend on which weapons I select. The third purpose of weapons is to give the player a progression system. Basically, finding a really rare and powerful weapon in the late game after a long struggle is super rewarding, and it can be a great way to make the player excited to open chests and find loot in the hopes of finding a really good weapon. Now, most importantly, you should write your idea in the comments so we can talk about weapon systems together. Also, check out my video of my weapon system right here.